There are many ways to manage anxiety. And if you were to take time and just Google like strategies for managing anxiety, you'd find all kinds of things. And there are great tips out there, like sleep habits and boundaries, exercise to deal with the extra adrenaline and cortisol levels. But the thing that we come to over and over again is really needing an anchor, needing to have those anchors to weather the storm of anxiety in business.
Yeah, I mean, I think the approach that you're going to get from us is very different than what you'll see in the world. Like, I follow
Yes.
and massively respect a lot of the successful entrepreneurs out there. And one of the problems that you'll find out is that they in the world will be shouting that you kind of like outwork your anxiety, which I actually think works and it's effective. Like you see the things that you might be stressed about or the things that you need to overcome, those big problems, and you just throw hours of work at the wall. But the problem is like that's when you don't mind letting your family, your relationship, your kids, the things that are like eternal that kind of matter. Like you won't be able to take your money with you when you die. Sorry, some news for some of you, maybe I don't know, but like you're gonna die, and then your money is just gonna like I don't know rot, like right. And so like the things that actually matter that are long lasting, like the relationships you have, the investment you have, with your kids, like the legacy that you've left behind, not just finances, because that can be a part of it, but there are things that matter. And the classic, like just work harder and spend 14 or 16 hours a day working. And I'm just like picking numbers, right? Because everybody's different. Like I don't want to, I'm not
There have been times that he has worked a 16-hour day
right.
and in a healthy season, also in unhealthy seasons, he's worked that many days. But so you're just picking a number, but
Yeah, so it's not necessarily the number that's specific because everybody's different. Like, we have kids, we have a family, and we saying yes to God in lots of different areas, and
mhm.
with discipleship and mentorship and marriages, there's things that we're doing that we're spending our time on that we think is valuable, and it just doesn't work for me to say that I'm going to spend another 5 or 6 or 7 hours trying to solve that problem. Like at some point, I just have to stop and say that I've done a good job for today. Like I've worked hard, but now it's time to like move on to the other priorities that are important and valuable in life. And there's this like tension between what I imagine could be and where I am now, and where I see the business going, and then where we are today. And that tension, when you walk away from it, gets amplified
Mhm.
and can create some stress or anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I can't just sit there at the table for another 5 hours and work because I'm going to go to my son's soccer game.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying you have to attend every one of your son's soccer games, but for me, that's one of the things that like I do want to go to those, because it's important to me that I stay connected with my son in these early years when I spend the 95% of the time that we're going to have together is when he's in my household.
Yeah.
And that's when we get to develop that relationship and that connection. And when I get to have the most influence on the man that he's going to be, which is probably actually a bigger impact on the world than me spending more time to make some extra money and be more
Yeah.
financially successful. So, like, the big caveat to all this is that if your goal is to follow God and then make the most amount of money that you can get and get rich and check off that box that like you were a Christian along the way, like I don't know, that's not really it's not really my thing. Like
Mhm.
I want to grow and build and be creative, but like I just absolutely say that there are things that are more important to me than money. And my relationship with my kids and Jessica is a part of that.